So today I was listening to Talk Sport and I was actually quite excited when I was hearing the news about the new Champions League format that will kick in from the start of the 2024-25 season. Now, a lot of people will say this is greed, but you know, when you're a football fan like I am, you don't really care because what they're giving us is what we want, which is more games. Now, the bit that excited me wasn't just the fact that, hi Tony mate, wasn't just the fact that there's more games in this Champions League format. It's the way it sounds and the way it is. So, I'm going to go into read this piece out now with, to show you exactly what's going to happen with the Champions League. Phil, you say talk shite all the time, right? You don't like Talk Sport, we get it. I love it. Absolutely love it. You get fans that come on, you get fans that care that come on, you get Liverpool fans coming on, especially when the European Super League was happening. The Liverpool fans that were phoning in going, what happens to the derby, what happens to this? You get the Evertonians cracking up. You get put it this way, listening to Talk Sport this morning is the reason why I can provide a video like this, because it gives me what's called a football education. So what I'm now going to explain to you is a lot of people watching this video right now, Phil, won't know that the Champions League is going to change from next year. Not the next season, season after, but next year is when it kicks in for the August campaign to 24-25. So for those, and by the way, a lot of media channels talk shite from time to time, but TalkSport's the best radio station in the world for anyone that loves football. And that's why Jurgen Klopp was on it a few weeks ago, and that's why Andy Robertson was on it, Jordan Henderson, Ian Rush, all the people, and working at Anfield, TalkSport was allowed in the building. So it's not the Sun newspaper as well, a lot of people always say as well. But anyway, thanks for taking me off topic there, mate. But anyway, like I say, what's really, 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 really exciting me is the fact that the Champions League is not going to be group stages anymore, right? It's not going to be group stages anymore. It's going to be a division of 24 teams. Now, let me just go through it first for you, and I'll explain to you exactly the way it's going to look now and how it is. So, what will the Champions League look like from 2024-25? The number of teams competing... Hang on a minute, 2 seconds. Stupid pop-up's just come up. Let's go back a minute, 2 seconds. Yeah, so basically it's not going to be like group stages anymore, and the games have gone up by, I think, about an extra 70 games or something like that. Let me just click on it again. Right, I'm back on it again now. So, what will the Champions League look like from 24-25? The number of teams competing in the competition will increase from 32 to 36. So there'll be 4 more teams, meaning there will now be 189 matches instead of 125. And the group stage will be replaced by a league phase, otherwise known as the Swiss model. Each team will be guaranteed... 2 seconds... Each team will be guaranteed. I'm just going back on it now because I'm on the page what's called The Athletic, which likes to do pop-up adverts. Stupid thing. If not, I'm going to get another news source in a minute for it. It says here, so each team will be guaranteed to play 8 games in the league phase, down from proposed 10 after talks in Vienna, of which do you know what, it's just popped up again. I'm just going to go onto a different news channel. 2 seconds. Right, so basically what is the new Champions League format? I've just clicked on something else. It's just bloody annoying, that is. How it works. Right, I've got it here. So basically the group stages are going to be scrapped and the Swiss model of a league will be introduced. And there's 4 extra teams going into the into the phase. It means there'll be more Champions League positions now. It goes from like 4. So basically, what will the Champions League look like? The number of teams competing in the competition will increase from 32 to 36, meaning there will now be 189 matches instead of 125, and the group stage will be replaced by a league phase. And then it goes on to say here, this is the Independent, this has wrote this. So this won't have any pop-ups on it like that bloody Athletic does. Says here, UEFA's Executive Committee confirmed last year the most significant changes to the Champions League in a generation. Days before the failed European Super League plot was launched back in 2021, UEFA announced reforms to the Champions League and received a unanimous backing. It's confirmed plans to change the format of European football's top club competition from 2024, giving the tournament its first new look in 20 years. The proposals were not met with the same level of backlash that greeted the Super League plans, but have still been criticised by leading fan groups. We are united in opposition to proposal to reform the Champions League that are backdoor attempt to return to the discredited eye of the Super League. It is basically like a Super League, but the fact is the Super League that they brought up during the pandemic excluded all of it. They tried to get rid of what's called, promotion, relegation, and the derby going from Liverpool and Everton. They would have just took everything, the format of what we love about football, away. This one doesn't. The changes are, and how it will affect the Champions League look at 2004, the plans have been voted through, and this is what's happened. What will it look like? Since 2003, the Champions League has been a 32-team competition with a single group stage phase followed by a knockout phase. The 32 teams seeded according to league position and UEFA coefficient have been split into 8 groups of 4 teams, with the top 2 teams progressing to the last 16 after 6 rounds of matches in a round-robin format with both home and away matches. That has been followed by 3 two-legged rounds to the last 16 quarterfinals and semi-final, with matches played at home and away before the final at a neutral venue. But from 2024, the group stage will look completely different. There are 2 main changes. 4 additional teams will be added to take the number of clubs to 36, and a single league format will be used. Now, this is a bit I like. There's going to be literally 36 teams in this league, right? And this is how it's going to work. And the single format will be used. The league phase will determine an overall ranking from 1st to 36. So it's like the Premier League. The Premier League has 1 to 20 teams, doesn't it? The Champions League is now going to have a table of 1 to 36. With 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw as usual. The top 8 teams will advance to the last 16. So the top 8, right, will go into the last 16. So it's like if you looked at the Premier League table now, we're 5th, we would qualify for the knockouts. So it's exactly like that. Top 8 teams will advance to the last 16, with the 16 teams finishing between 9th and 24th, entering a playoff round over 2 legs. So basically, from 1st to 8th, you go straight into the knockouts, and from 8th to 25th, you will go into what's called a 2-legged sort of format, where you'll play a team and you've got to beat them over 2 legs to get into the last 16, right? Teams who finish 25th or below will be eliminated and will not drop down to the Europa League, right? So I should imagine the teams that finish between 8th and 24th, the ones that lose will go into the Europa League by the looks of it. How will the league format work? UEFA and the European Club Association reached an agreement on the end of last year. The number of fixtures is set to increase from the current 6 to 8, right? So there's going to be 8 games in this format, right? After UEFA compromised on its original plan of 10, fixtures will be determined using a Swiss-style seeding system. All 8 matches will be played against different teams, with 4 at home and 4 away. So those that say they want to get tickets for games, you've now got an extra Champions League game to go to at Anfield. So that's the way you've got to look at it. All the results will contribute to the overall league ranking. Will it change the knockout phase? Apart from the playoff round, the knockout phase is set to be the same from the last 16. There have been reports, however, the UEFA will discuss the idea of scrapping 2-legged semi-finals in the favour of a final 4 format played across a week in one European city. Fuck all that. Will some clubs be able to qualify based on past performance? No. This has been scrapped by UEFA after the plans were met with a criticism and would have opened the door to there being a safety net for the biggest clubs and widening the inequalities in European football to an even greater extent. Instead, UEFA will award 2 extra places to the countries who collectively performed the best in Europe in the previous seasons. So, for example, if the season, that would mean England would gain an extra spot. So, for example, if this new format came along now, Liverpool would be in the Champions League for finishing 5th. Along with, so this would mean the Premier League would have 5 Champions League teams for that season. Unlike coefficient plans, it would mean there would be no barrier to certain clubs receiving an additional spot. So, according to UEFA, the other 2 spots will be allocated according to the criteria. Slot 1, one of the additional places will go to a club ranked 3rd in the Championship of the Association and 5th position. Slot 2, another will be awarded to a domestic champion by extending from 4 to 5 number of the clubs. So I actually really am looking forward to that. Didn't Sky Sports announce this a few weeks ago? Phil, Sky Sports probably did announce this a few weeks ago, but obviously I didn't know about it because not everybody sits and watching Sky Sports every 24 hours a day, mate. So probably did. I'm sure I'm not breaking news now in the Champions League. I'm sure that the fully qualified, paid media professionals at Sky Sports would have released this story before me, mate. Anyway, you got any more questions? In a good mood, ain't you? Tony Gerard Croft. If the people on TalkSport like Cundy and Gooston think they how to spell name and the other, right? You see Cundy and Goldstein. I don't listen to them, right? The best show on TalkSport for me is White and Jordan between the hours of 10 and 1 p.m. and Sunday's unbelievable Trans Europe Express. Anybody that loves football, watch that from 9 p.m. on a Sunday because it literally goes around. I mean, Andy Brassel, who's a Liverpool fan, he goes around you. He knows everything. He knows everything about Serie A. He knows everything about Portugal, the Bundesliga, every league in the world he knows about. So it's brilliant, 3 hours. So it's for football fans. Anyway, we love this. We're talking about the Champions League here, and everybody's doing their best to put me off and talk about something else. Look, we're talking about the Champions League, not about TalkSport. The Champions League, right? Okay. So it is what it is. So and also Ivan Toney's been banned. I'm doing a video on the Champions League and people are talking about TalkSport and Ivan Toney. Yeah, and Phil, yeah, you agree with me over Simon Jordan and Jim White. It's a brilliant show, mate. What I like about it is they give fans a voice. So it is good. I do get, but listen, there is a lot of things, Phil, that do annoy me on TalkSport, especially Jason Cundy. I can't stand him. So Tony's right about that. But you just switch off. I mean, I don't really like the show that comes on. I'm talking about TalkSport again. Anyway, forget it. But so yes, I'm really excited about this Champions League format. I think it would be great to look at it, you know, like seeing where Liverpool are in this giant league of 36 teams, and we've got to finish top 8. Can you imagine what the top 8 will look like? You get Man City in third, or Liverpool in second, or Real Madrid in first, Barcelona and Man United in sixth. So not only can you sort of badger, you know, Man United about where you are in the league and domestically, you can actually badger them about where you are. We're above you in the league and we're above you in the Champions League group. Do you know, you get what I mean? It's going to be absolutely mental. And the weird thing is, there's going to be a draw of who. Actually, I've just thought about that. If they're not doing it as a group, then you're not going to be drawn into groups. You're not going to know who you're going to play. There's 36 teams in the league. Then how are they going to do? If you've got to play everyone? I know that. I actually don't know. That's why I'm puzzled by it. I mean, do you play everybody once? No, what would that be? No, because that'd be no. Of course you don't. What am I talking about? So yeah, there will be yes, I know what it'll be. There will be a draw of fixtures who you'll get, and in the overall league table, that's it. The overall league table will be the teams from 1 to 36. Mental. It's going to take some getting used to, but that's the reason why I thought I'd do the video, because I mean, I didn't know about this. I knew that the Champions League was changing, but I didn't know the detail that I learned today. So the reason why I've done this video is so those watching it can understand how it's changing from 6 games to 8 games, and how it's changing from no group stages anymore, a league table of 1 to 36 with an extra place for say if Holland do well, where Ajax and PSV get to the later stages, they get an extra place for the following season. It depends on how well the country does in the league table to decide who gets the extra place. Just feel the Champions League will be awesome with more teams, and seeing 5 Premier League teams will be good, and taking the piss out of the Manx will be good. Mate, that's better. That's exactly what I like to hear. With that in mind, they will have qualifying rounds to get a place, or will it just be 4 extra teams? It's just 4 extra teams, Tony. And like I say, what they're going to do is, based on a nation's... For example, Rangers and Celtic did absolutely shit, didn't they, in the Champions League last year? So there's not going to be an extra place for Scottish football because they did piss poor. But Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal and whoever it is, just say them for their... Say the top 5 as it is right now. Newcastle, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Man City, right? Say if they all did great and got to the later stages, and someone won it and someone got to the semis, whatever, the points awarded would put them into the format of keeping the extra spot for 5th place. So now it's not a top 4 chase, it's a top 5 if you can be the best team. And the Premier League should always get top 5 because they've got the best league in the world. So you would imagine that you know, Premier Leagues would get the extra space. But it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on the video. But I've got to shoot now because I've got a meeting to go to. So I hope you all have a great sort of rest of the week, and I'll be doing my Aston Villa. It's my day off tomorrow, so I hopefully will be bringing you. Not hopefully, I will bring you my Aston Villa preview. Have a great night, everybody. You'll never walk alone.